Hi guys, this is Robert at propheticseer.com. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a compilation of information that has just come out in the last week. And this is what I've been talking about for the last year, telling people that the economy was poised to collapse. It is a stealth famine that's going to hit the West. And many have scoffed at some of the things that I've said. Many have attributed my motivation to trying to get rich off of fear, because I do promote a food company that is a survival food company based on dried storable foods. But the data is here. The data is in. Look at what I'm about to show you. This is very important for all of you, your loved ones, your friends, to get them this message, to let them know what is the potential, and which I truly believe is about to happen. The potential disaster that awaits not only America but Europe. And are we poised on a third world war, as well as whatever else could come of this terrible economic crisis? It is not just economic, but there's all kinds of other factors that are involved with the political scene, the military actions that are happening as well. And you know that economics do cause wars. So here's the data. And I'm just going to go through this really quick. And I did this on my show, and I just wanted to provide the service to the YouTube community as well. The latest news out of Europe is that the EU will have plenty of funds to bail out Greece. Now, the reason that this happened was because they passed a law stating that they could only do it one more time in Germany. And this was going through their Congress, I guess, that from now on, Merkel, the president, cannot just push through something really quickly. It's going to take time now. The people don't want to bail out any country, so Europe is poised on the precipice of collapse. And here's how it goes. The latest news out of Europe is that the EU will have plenty of funds to bail out Greece. Never mind that a global stock market panic led to the near 1,000-point drop in the Dow Jones last week, that the IMF head, Christine Lagarde, said that the organization needs more money to make good on emergency rescue packages. That Treasury Secretary Geithner suggested Europe is the most serious threat to the stability of the world economy, that the signs of the economic slowdown are everywhere, and every mainstream economists are now warning of another Great Depression. Not to mention, guys, what's going on over there in New York. Do you see what's happening? The sit-ins, the protests, they're trying to shut down Wall Street. I mean, there was over 700 airline pilots that were protesting. There's violence taking place. The news media is not even covering it. They're trying to cover it up.
As anticipation for these crowds throughout social networking sites grew, 2 weeks ago, hundreds of people out of the 20,000 who signed up for these protests came out onto the street. This let the financial district initially breathe a sigh of relief, as well as gave the mainstream media the opportunity to marginalize these crowds as a fringe group. But they have vowed to stay here until December. And as the attention towards these people grows, their strength to continue fighting the system is only getting bigger.
This could be the skeleton of a revolution, or the beginning of one possibly, but I don't think people in America overall are awake in a metaphorical sense to awake enough to actually start a revolution that will change the way our government is run.
As high-profile activists and scholars started joining these crowds, it became harder for the media to ignore these demonstrations. It also became hard for most Americans to not take these crowds seriously as police brutality started to occur. Last weekend, over 80 protesters were arrested. Several women were surrounded by a police net and maced with pepper spray. But these protesters say they're willing to pay any price to get their voices heard.
A lot of people are talking about the 1%, and a fraction of the 1% that have all the money and really all the power, if you think.
Why? Because they don't want the American people to wake up en masse. See, people are now beginning to wake up and to see what I have been warning about for so long. Now, look at what happens here. Brazil. Just the other day, Brazil President Dilma Rousseff has warned that a full-blown economic crisis could be devastating for the emerging countries as well as the world's largest economies. She added that the global financial situation could cause a serious rupture. when speaking at the UN General Assembly in New York. Now it goes on to say, controls must be imposed on the currency war through the adoption of floating exchange rate regimes. Now this has a lot to do with what's going on with Europe, or with China and the US and Russia. That means putting an end to the exchange rate manipulation both by excessively expansionary monetary policies, the US, and the stratagem of fixed exchange rates, China. The Brazilian leader stressed that the crisis is too deep to be addressed by a couple of countries exclusively. She said that emerging countries earned their right to participate. Okay. Now, not only has Germany warned, or Brazil, but Germany also has been warning of the same. And this is a German study which was released recently which is unique for the frankness in which it explores the dire consequences which may be in store for us. The Germans also believe that it is already too late to complete a comprehensive global transition to a post-fossil fuel economy. So they're talking about peak oil and the fossil fuel crisis that awaits the world as well. So not only are we having a economic slowdown and unemployment and the collapse of currencies, but also the oil prices are going to be skyrocketing at the same time. And it goes through and details what would be the effect of these higher oil prices. Now, the Middle East is poised right now, especially because of what's happening in Israel, on the brink of war. We've got Syria, we've got Libya, we've got all these other countries that went through revolution that are looking with salivating palates at Israel, wanting to not only split Jerusalem, but not even to recognize it as a state, and we just had Iran threaten to send warships off the coast of America. If that is not brazen saber rattling, I don't know what else is. I mean, when they're talking about wiping Israel off the map. And then you go through this article. Now, by the way, all of these articles will be posted at the bottom, so you can go ahead and look. Now we've got, let's see, another story here by not only the BBC Trader, which I will show you in just a moment, the video, but they're talking about him stepping aside because now an even more credible witness to what is about to befall the world economy steps up. The head of Unicredit Securities predicts the imminent end of the Eurozone and a global financial apocalypse. And I'll just go through some of the highlights here. The euro is practically dead, and Europe faces a financial earthquake from a Greek default. Now this is going to be a domino effect when Greek finally defaults, and it's on the verge. It is there is riots, everything's going on over there in Greece right now. It's just amazing that, you know, more people don't realize the ramifications of what's coming down over there and how it's going to affect America. So it says the euro is beyond rescue. The only remaining question is how many days the hopeless rearguard action of European governments and the European Central Bank can keep up Greece's spirits. The Greek default will trigger an immediate magnitude 10 earthquake across Europe. Holders of Greek government bonds will have to write off their entire investments. The southern European nation will stop paying salaries and pensions, and automated teller machines in the country will empty within minutes. Now, you can read the rest of this horrific article and what we can expect. I will also put the link of this article below. Check out the video that's to follow, and then do what you can to get yourself prepared. If any of you out there have been waiting and thinking about preparing with food, with getting your supplies prepared, that would be survival type supplies. I talk about this on my show all the time at propheticseer.com. We have a show that I do nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. West Coast time, and I talk about survival techniques. I talk about preparing your food reserves, getting water set aside, getting water filters, learning how to make fire, alternative shelters if you have to get out of Dodge or the city. The cities are going to be turned into war zones. I'm telling you guys, America is coming down. prepare. I sell dried storable foods. They're lightweight. You can put them in backpacks. You can store a lot of food that's already dried, and it contains all of its own nutrients and everything that's contained within a lightweight, dried, storable package that will provide a lot of food. That's why I stock up on these in case we have to be mobile. Now, I also do stock up on all kinds of other things like rice and beans and canned goods and any kind of food that I can stock up on, I will. But the dried, storable foods are very important for those that might be mobile or thinking about having to be gone for a week to 2 weeks. You can put all that in a backpack and you'll have food to go. Most Americans don't even have a couple of days supply of food in their pantries. It's really sad. If the electricity goes out, your food is gone. Okay, your food in the refrigerator, in the freezer, it's going to melt, it's going to mold. If you don't have dried storable foods, you're not going to have food. Okay, unless you got a lot of canned food, and you can't put canned foods in your backpack and have a lot. That's why I promote dried storable foods. So if you guys want any of this, there is a link below as well that will lead you to my site. And not only are you supporting our ministry by buying, but you're also saving a lot of money from the parent company. We can give it to you at a better price. You can also participate, and you get a free website if you want, and earn your own food credits by promoting the website. You don't even have to sign up. You don't even have to put any money out. Now, if you want to get into the business, you can make compensation, and a money package will also come as people buy from you. But if you just want to promote the website, they give you a free website. They will give you food credits, and as it accrues and you get $100 worth of food credits, they'll send you a $100 package of food. And all you got to do is promote the free meal offer on your own network. You don't even have to sign up for the company. Isn't that an awesome deal? I mean, what more could you ask? For all you guys out there that are poor, you guys that don't have any money to even spend to get into it, $35 to get into the business, do it for free. Earn your own free food by promoting the free food offer. They get 3 packages, which is like, wait a minute, it's 6 packages, which is 12 meals. And they get it for a $9.99 shipping. You get half that shipping. They give you half the shipping price that they paid, and it accrues to your own food credits. That's how they're promoting the food. So it's a free food offer. They do pay shipping, but you get half of it, and the person that would sign up underneath you gets $1. Okay, so I get $1, you get $3 or $4 of that shipping, and it goes toward your own food reserves. Okay, so for anybody out there that thinks that I'm doing this for selfish motives, I'm not. I'm actually trying to get you guys out there that don't have any money. You might have you might have an internet presence and network that could provide you boxes of free food. I've already earned at least 4 or 5 boxes of free food by just promoting the free food offer. That's it. Not even that's not even connected to my sales. So the sales part of it, if you're in the business, you get a compensation and a percentage of the sales that you make as well. So for anybody out there that wants to get into this is where it's at, because people right now are starting to wake up to the fact that everything is collapsing. They're going to need food, and they're starting to look at dried storable food companies. Why do you think that the government just spent billions of dollars on dried storable foods? We did lots of stories on this a few months back. They're getting prepared. Okay, dried storable food companies, they're trying to get and monopolize their production to provide solely for the government. Why do you think they're taking over private companies like that? Because they know that dried storable foods are important. That's why this company that is eFoods Global does not contract with government. They are doing this for the people. Okay, so guys, here's the video that follows, that it will even ram it home even more. All the links are below. God bless you guys, and prepare.
It's going to crash, and it's going to fall pretty hard, because markets are ruled right now by fear. Investors and the big money, the smart money, I'm talking about the big funds, the hedge funds, the institutions, they don't buy this rescue plan. They basically, they know the market is toast. They know the stock market is finished. The euro, as far as they're concerned, they don't really care. They're moving their money away to safer assets, like treasury bonds, 30-year bonds, and the US dollar. So it's not going to work.
We keep hearing that whatever the politicians are suggesting, and admittedly it's all been rather woolly so far,